Aluxers, we've brought you 15 things you didn't know about Tim Cook, and today we're expanding on Apple's CEO with 15 leadership lessons from Tim Cook. Number 1. Use your position to benefit others. Tim Cook is a firm believer that giving back is what makes a great leader. He knows the importance of building communities, of looking after our environment, and creating jobs to improve the lives of entire families. In his own words, he says, "One of the things you do is give back. We give back through our work and environment, in running the company on renewable energy. We give back in job creation." We spoke very similarly in our video, 15 of the most valuable lessons from Buddha, where we talked about sharing wisdom and knowledge to benefit others. We definitely encourage you to watch that one next. Number 2. Be humble. Despite his busy schedule, Cook still pops into Apple stores on the odd occasion. He enjoys engaging with his customers, whether it's face-to-face or reading their emails. During a 2019 trip to Japan, Cook not only met with Apple employees, but made time to see children of the Rikyo Primary School and spent time at Keio University School of Medicine. According to Fortune.com, Apple Store employees lose it when Tim Cook makes a surprise visit, which he did in 2015 by visiting an Apple store in London. As Cook said, not allowing yourself to become insular is very important, maybe the most important thing, I think, as a CEO. And Aluxers, remember to click subscribe as you continue watching this video. We have loads of other videos that we'd love to share with you. Number 3. Be true to yourself. Taking over from Steve Jobs was some big shoes to fill, but Cook didn't try to be Steve Jobs. He remained true to himself. Cook is the only openly gay CEO on the Fortune 500 list and has always stood up for LGBTQ+ rights. As reported by CNN Business Edition, despite being an extremely private person, Cook said emails and letters from children came who said they'd been ostracized, bullied, or abused because of their sexual orientation, and he came out because he realized he was being selfish for not doing so. Number 4. Admit when you're wrong. Aluxers, we know how hard it can be to admit when we're wrong about something, but by admitting fault and taking responsibility, that means you'll gain a whole lot more respect than if you don't. Being a strong leader means understanding where you went wrong, saying sorry, and fixing the problem. Cook has made mistakes and he has admitted openly to them. For example, hiring John Broward as head of Apple stores. The arrangement only lasted 6 months in 2012, but Cook should not have made that appointment. Number 5. There's a lesson in every mistake. Aluxers, the thing about making a mistake is there's always a lesson to be learned, even if that lesson is, I can't fuck up again. And with Cook, he knows this all too well. Here's an example from 2014 as reported by the Wall Street Journal. Apple and GT had hailed a $1 billion plan to build an Arizona factory that would produce 30 times as much sapphire as any other plant in the world. In short, GT Advanced Technologies Inc. filed for bankruptcy, and Apple lost hundreds of millions of dollars. So how do you think Tim Cook responded over this big misstep labeled as the Boole Graveyard? Let's see what we can learn from it. We're not going to bat 1,000, and we're going to keep betting on great technologies for our customers. Number 6. Privacy is important. One of the biggest feuds right now is between Mark Zuckerberg and Tim Cook. And although there's always been tension between Apple and Facebook, this war of words has been covered in the media extensively. It's all to do with iOS 14's app tracking transparency. Zuckerberg says it will negatively influence small businesses, and Cook says that users should decide whether advertisers can track users' activity across apps. As we said, Cook is a firm believer in privacy, and in this case, his leadership lesson is that he is firmly sticking up for the right to privacy for his users. In a case of he said, or he tweeted, Zuckerberg said, "We're standing up to Apple for small businesses everywhere. Internet should be open. Apple is a threat to free internet." Then Cook said, "We believe users should have the choice over the data that's being collected about them and how it's used. Facebook can continue to track users across apps and websites as before. App tracking transparency in iOS 14 will just require they ask for your permission first." Number 7. Diversity is important. When we mention diversity, we're not referring to age, gender, religion, or race. We're referring to the diversity of ideas and thought. Without unique ideas and thought, we can't be innovative. Cook has said, "We want diversity of thought. We want diversity of style. We want people to be themselves." And Aluxers, we've got a free Audible download for you, and we suggest you listen to Tim Cook, the genius who took Apple to the next level by Leander Connie. Go to Alux.com/freebook and get your copy if you haven't already. Number 8. Trust others around you. One of the many reasons Tim Cook is a great leader is that he trusts his team. There's a reason those people were employed. They know what they're doing, and a good leader knows to show their employees that they trust them. A part of being a great leader is also acknowledging that you don't know everything. There's no shame in that. You're more respected for it than pretending that you do know everything. We'll share with you what Tim Cook so aptly said. "To whom much is given, much is expected." I do believe this. It's embedded in me. Harvard Business Review classified Tim Cook as a multiplier, a leader who makes employees smarter, more innovative, and more competent through his leadership style. Number 9. Listen well. It is so important for a leader to listen. If a leader doesn't listen, it has a ripple effect of unhappiness and discontentment. When listening, repeat what that person has said by paraphrasing it, because it would be a little weird if you just repeated them verbatim. Acknowledge that you understand what your employee said and work together to come up with a solution. By doing this, your employee feels valued, heard, and understood. This is something that Tim Cook does well. However, a true test of his leadership now will be how he handles the letter he received from his staff stating they're not keen to return to the office 3 days a week from September and should be given the option to continue working from home. The letter, according to The Verge, stated that workers delivered the same quality of products and services that Apple is known for, all while working almost completely remotely. Number 10. Express gratitude. You might think that when you're the CEO of Apple, you don't really have time to be showing thanks. But it's the fact a CEO of a big company makes and takes the time to show thanks that makes them a great leader. Tim Cook is often seen publicly thanking his staff and expressing his gratitude toward them. And Aluxers, it's the simplest thing to do. A thank you takes 1 second to say, and it'll motivate an employee for weeks. Number 11. Do what you do well. You're probably no stranger to the range of Apple products, and if you think about it, it's not that many. Cook wants to excel at what they do. As he said, if you really look at it, we have 4 iPods, we have 2 main iPhones, we have 2 iPads, we have a few Macs. That's it. His philosophy is that one can only do a few things great. He imparted these comments during an interview for Business Week as featured on Bloomberg. Number 12. Write your own rules. Tim Cook did a Q&A at Duke University where he advises, write your own rules. He was asked by a student, when should we listen to our professors and when is it okay not to? And his response went as follows. I think you should rarely follow the rules. I think if you do follow things in a formulaic manner, you'll wind up at best being the same as everybody else. Maybe you missed something and you're a little worse, and if you want to excel, you can't do that. Number 13. Use your intuition. In that same Q&A, Tim Cook encourages people to use their intuition. At the same time that Cook went over to Apple, he had just started a new job at Compaq. Compaq was a thriving company, whereas Apple was on the brink of disaster. But after speaking with Steve Jobs for 5 minutes, Cook just knew that Apple was going to be a success and he would want to be a part of it. He adds that he doesn't believe intuition is something we're born with, but comes over time and with practice. So Aluxers, trust your intuition. As Cook says, I'm an engineer and an analytical person at heart. The most decisions that I've made had nothing to do with any of that. They were always based on intuition. Number 14. Hire the right people. Aluxers, in many of our videos, we've spoken about the importance of not hiring a person purely based on their CV. A CV could have a million good points, but if that employee doesn't match well with other staff members, all those good points just kind of fade away. Cook has certain things he looks for when hiring, and here are some of them. People that are not political, are not bureaucrats, people that don't care who gets credit, but can privately celebrate the achievements, and people who are team players. He wants someone who at 11 o'clock at night had an idea and they want to get in touch with someone right away because they're so excited. And the bonus is they know the person on the other line will be excited too. Although he has made hiring errors, as we mentioned earlier, but he learns from those mistakes. Number 15. Take responsibility. If you want to take credit, first learn to take responsibility. Cook spoke those powerful words at the 2019 Stanford commencement. Own your good and your bad. Work on the bad and share the good. You're a work in progress, Aluxers, so use this valuable lesson from a great leader to inspire you on the daily. Alright, Aluxers, what is it about Tim Cook that you admire most? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. And of course, since you stuck with us until the end, we have a bonus waiting for you. Be an ethical leader. Tim Cook believes that to be ethical, it's important to surround yourself with like-minded people. Cook's definition of ethics is to leave things better than you found them. He uses that thinking in part of his everyday life, whether it's for the environment, his home life, business, his employees, or just the person at the store. And Aluxers, if you take away this piece of leadership advice, it will unfold into many beautiful dealings throughout your daily life. Thanks for your time, Aluxers. We appreciate you. Please subscribe and don't forget to give this one a thumbs up.